Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no one behind, especially the 5 million homes that we cover here in Southern California. But no worries if you are not in Southern California. You can get me by pressing the listen now on kcaaradio.com. This is a CNBC, NBC News Radio channel. And then afterwards, I'm on pretty much every major platform, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Amazon Music, and too many to remember to recite. But I'm so glad that you're here with me. Those of you who have followed me from my primetime afternoon slot into the daily morning slot, welcome, welcome. And if you're just finding me for the first time, fasten your seatbelts because you're in for a very happy ride, because I am all about hope and happiness. And my mission in life, my Happy 88 mission, is that you are happy 88% of the time. Now, some of you may be asking, why not 100% of the time? Aren't we aiming for excellence in happiness? Well, the only people I know who are 100% happy are dead, because nobody can be happy 100% of the time. It's a thing called contrast. You have to know a little bit of unhappiness to know what you are when you're happy. So 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. I know right now I have a face for radio, but when you check out my YouTube channel with the show afterwards, you'll see that I'm actually Chinese. And in Chinese, in Mandarin, 8 is a lucky number. It is a homonym for good fortune. So I believe, and this is my rose-colored Kool-Aid that I will continue to splatter, which is the knowledge and the truth that happiness is your birthright. To be happy 88% of the time is your birthright, and I want you to claim that birthright. So that's what this show's about. First thing in the morning, 8 to 9 every day, I am going to give you some happy tools to think about, happy challenges, because I don't want you taking stress medication or hurting your health with unhappiness. I know I'm not stupid. This is coming out of a pandemic, and it's been a tough year for everybody, but we're almost out. And if I think about it, many people, hashtag BC19, the time before COVID, were actually not happy anyways. Many of us were unhappy with their jobs, unhappy with their lives, unhappy with their wives or their partners. And that was not, that's a choice. We do not have to be unhappy more than 12% of the time. And I've learned this, and I'm hoping that by listening and driving with me, that I don't drive you crazy in the morning, but that I can cajole you into maybe understanding that life does not suck. I actually was just interviewed yesterday by another podcast called the Beautiful Bastards podcast. And these two really interesting gentlemen, real fun gentlemen out of Connecticut, got to interview me on their podcast show. And I was given the honorable title of the spokesperson for happiness for the millennials. So I didn't want to tell them that I'm ageless, so I'm not going to say anything. But It was a great interview. It'll be coming out soon. I'll let you know. If you're not on my social, get there because I splatter all day, every day. On my Instagram, I'm Doc Balance. On Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, I'm Dr. Marissa Pay. That's pay like money, PEI. Or if you just Google Dr. Marissa, you'll find me. And then, of course, the most important thing is please free subscribe to my YouTube channel where 479 consecutive weeks of programming is there, as well as my red carpet interviews with Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones. I'm my show guests, Corey Feldman, Fran Drescher, talking about how to reduce your risk of cancer, the E.T. mom, Mrs. Cunningham from Happy Days, you name it. I've got them there for your listening and watching pleasure. So that's my YouTube channel. Just Google Dr. Marissa. And then my home, drmarissa.life, where you can find a plethora of tools, free, happy tip sheet, my alphabet soup of how to be happy. The one I'm going to give you today is INTBOAD. If you are unhappy at any time today over something that is like spilt milk or something that you are not thrilled about, remember INTBOAD, which is it's not that big of a deal because it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay now, that means it's not the end. And you've got nothing to be unhappy about, especially today. Yesterday, I got to cover On Location. I'm going to play a little of it for you now because it's a great day. Why? What's up, Doc? Here we go.
Good morning. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm here on a very special day. It is June 15th. We're going to have to make it a national holiday, I think. And I have someone special over here who's part of the festivities. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm City Attorney Mike Fewer. It's wonderful to be here at Langer's this morning for what is a terrific day of reopening.
And what are we reopening?
We're reopening Langer's Deli, which is one of the anchor institutions here in the city of Los Angeles, famous for its pastrami.
And what do you want the public to do now? Is it like all no holds barred? We can do anything we want.
Well, today is reopening in California. People should go out. They should engage in commerce. They should go to stores. They should go to restaurants. People still need to wear masks in a few places, like a nursing home, for example. But by and large, today is a day of celebration. And what we're celebrating is that Californians are getting vaccinated. Californians have reduced the rate of COVID here so much that we have an opportunity to reopen ahead of other states.
That is superb. So do this for me. Peace in.
Okay.
Peace in, peace out.
All right.
World peace.
No, you got it.
World through inner peace.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that was, let's give him a little applause. Yes, masks off. Wax on, wax off, masks off. You can now practice smiling. We are back on with Face to Face. And today I have a wonderful guest who's going to talk about how you can not only take your mask off, but become superhuman. I'll be right back with my interview with Nate Zeleznick. And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the Morning Show. Welcome back. And in my effort to have you have the best day ever. You know, this is a show about hope and happiness. And so I have guests that come on to help me splatter all of that. And today is no exception. I have someone special actually streaming in from Utah. And let me tell you a little bit about him. Nate Zeleznick is a serial entrepreneur who's owned one of the most successful martial arts and meditation academies in Utah for more than 2 decades, with the mission to redefine blindness as we see it and help people achieve superhuman breakthroughs with a technique called Vibravision. Vibravision has been validated by numerous professionals in the fields of medicine, naturopathy, optometry, military, physics, neuroscience, consciousness research, and the blind community, and many more. Nate is a regular keynote speaker and podcast guest among both business and superhuman communities. Please welcome to my studio, Nate. Welcome, Nate.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marissa. It is an honor to be here. I'm so happy to be on your show for you, for your listeners, for your viewers. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me about this superhuman stuff going on. It sounds like it's a little bit of a journey.
Absolutely. Well, you know, things are changing rapidly in our society as far as what we're being told is okay to believe in. You know, for many, many years, up until just a couple decades ago, if you mentioned meditation, people would scoff at you, or they wouldn't even know what the heck you're talking about.
Right.
But now, yoga, meditation, breath work, mindfulness, consciousness, research and expansion, hell, even aliens are being touted as being real by the government. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are coming to light now as far as our abilities and our real, I should say, our birthright to become more than what we just can sense with our normal 5 senses. And so Vibravision is a unique step-by-step method that my brother Mike and I have been honored to be able to bring from the Indonesian royal family of Java. And they, for over about 500 years, have had a very unique and secret method of breath work, energy development, combat, and multisensory expansion. So I'm going to say multisensory because we use a lot more than just our normal 5 senses, because we have dozens of senses at least. So this is a way that can allow us to become superhuman in a way, and even allows blind people to quote unquote see or perceive their world in a way that is as accurate as people with vision using non-visual senses. And, you know, like you'd mentioned in the bio, we have gone to great lengths over the past 2 decades to make sure that we could validate this for the Western paradigm, so that when we brought this to America and all of North and South America, in fact, we could do so in a way where people looked at it and say, you know what, I want to improve my life. I want to see what I don't see, and whether I'm blind or not, because fact is, whether you have vision or not, we're all blind in some way.
So give me an example of something that someone using this technique could do that they wouldn't normally do.
Okay. Well, some people come to us because they really want to learn to see without their eyes. For instance, one of our blind students whose eyes were removed due to an infection 21 years ago, he had trained with us for several months, and he was in his garage, and he was working on a project, and he had a screw, and he dropped screw on the ground. Now, normally for a blind person, if you drop a screw, you know you're going to find it somehow.
You're screwed.
About a week later, in the bottom of your foot.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what he did is he just, instead of being frustrated, he went right back to the techniques that he had learned from us. He centered himself, and he used his energy, his mind, to scan the ground. He reached down and picked it up with 2 fingers. Now, for you and I, that's not an amazing feat. For somebody who's blind,
absolutely,
incredible.
Absolutely. So it sounds like it's part of that. You know, when you have less of one sense, other senses come in and compensate for that sense that is missing or decreased. So there's something it sounds like you're tapping into an energy that we don't realize we have. Is that accurate?
Sure. Well, and the thing about this is now we understand, obviously, everything in the universe is energy and everything
Right.
in the universe is consciousness. And so for those listeners and viewers out there who are fans of Joe Dispenza, one of the things that he talks about is that everything is energy. All energy has a vibration. All vibration has a frequency, and every frequency contains information. So this is a cornerstone of quantum physics, that everything is vibrating or putting off some kind of information, unless it's at absolute zero. And even then, it may still. And so since that's the case, we have the ability energetically to perceive a lot more than what our physical senses tell us. But tapping into that innate ability to listen and to really listen. Yeah, sorry. Exactly. Well, it's a different kind of listening.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's smart.
That's smart. I know. I am.
This is just a way that we can teach people reproducibly over and over again using techniques that you don't have to be born with a sense that, oh, I'm special, or I can channel, or I can perceive this way. We help people develop that because we all have the hardware. We just need to repattern it and make sure that we have the hardware aligned in the right way, neurologically and energetically. And then we help people have upgrade their software, so to speak, so they're able to really take these signals in and use them and make them usable. So, for instance, people come to us who are business people, and they want to be able to make better business decisions for, it might be a 9-figure deal, and they want to know they want to really tap into their intuition and be able to know they're making the right decision. Or maybe they want to connect with their spouse or their children deeper, or maybe they want to connect with their team better. We have people come to us for a lot more than just seeing what they're out their eyes, because this method is so unique. There's nothing you can even compare it to. There's nothing like it. And so the health benefits alone, people sometimes just come to us because they want to lower their stress and lower their disease and be able to heal themselves from the inside out. It's really no limit to what we can do other than what we think we're limited at.
Interesting. Yeah. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering who I'm talking to today, this is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my morning show. And my guest is Nick. Hold on. I'm going to get it. Zeleznick. Who is bringing us this, it was a secret, out of Indonesia. It's an energy-based martial art called Merpati Putih, and I don't know if I said that right.
That's correct.
Where it's so powerful that masters could do superhuman feats such as break stacks of concrete bricks with a single touch, or drive a motorcycle through chaotic streets completely blindfolded. And I actually am now jogging my memory banks because I saw a demonstration, I believe it was using this technique, where a woman was blindfolded and could read something that was on the ground in front of her without seeing. And it's also, I teach Tai Chi and Qigong. So it sounds like there's the linking similarity is the whole use of Qi, energy force. Yes. So am I like on the right vibe here, so to speak?
We are just like this. We are resonating exactly there.
Oh, now, good.
Yeah. And so we actually are, a lot of people are familiar with Tai Chi or Qigong or other methods of increasing our electromagnetism in our body. But the Merpati Putih, now what that means in Indonesian is white dove, which is one thing that really attracted me to it, because I've been involved in martial arts for a long time. And my brother, the co-founder of Vibravision and at the Merpati Putih USA school with me, he already had numerous black belts before we even found the system. But we'd never heard of it because it had been kept a royal secret and a secret just within Indonesian society until me. So my brother Mike and I were the first non-Indonesians to ever be allowed to learn it.
And how did that happen? Did you go on a holiday?
No, it was one of those situations where you have something happen where it's not just a synchronicity, it's a synchrodestiny.
Ooh, I
Meaning
like
it
that.
changes the whole course of your life.
Trajectory. Uh-huh.
Exactly. So I had been having out of body experiences since I was about 13 or 14 years old. So I was very interested in consciousness and non locality and understanding higher human abilities. But when I was 23 years old and I ordered a course out of Black Belt Magazine that guaranteed me amazing inner power, chi, in 2 weeks or less, or I got my money back, I was really enthralled. And I got this, and it was a really lame course, but it did have a cool VHS cassette that had an Indonesian news broadcast on there showing Indonesian martial arts. And one of the things that people were doing was being blindfolded and riding motorcycles through traffic, or military members shooting targets out of people's hands. And it even showed some blind people doing some tracing and some different word identification on a whiteboard for the Sultan of Oman. And they were just going head over heels for this. But I thought it was BS because I'm American. I'm skeptical about stuff.
Right.
But the next day after I saw that video, I was stopped right in front of the Utah Schools for the Deaf and Blind, which we have one of the largest deaf and blind schools in the country right here in Ogden, Utah.
I didn't know that.
I actually took a different way to work for some reason, and I was stopping there, and I was delighted. And a lady with her dog was getting ready to cross the street in front of me, and when she got the chirps, the sounds to go, her dog led her around the light pole, but she was led directly into it. Her dog went around it. She walked right into the light pole.
Oh, wow.
And this is about 7 or 8 feet away from the bumper of my car, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what if that dog had done that when I was doing 50 miles an hour?
Right.
And then it hit me. What if those Indonesian people, I wonder if they can do anything to help blind people here. Now, I had never met a blind person. I had no blindness in my family. I had no attachment to the blind community. However, on both sides of my family, I come from a long line of servant leaders who have been involved in medicine and in healing.
Interesting.
And
And Nate, I'm getting the signal from the sound engineer. We're going to have to take a quick break, but we'll be back with the rest of this fabulous story that I'm very interested in, because I do a little American Sign Language, and I just think that all of that is great. But we'll be right back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa the Morning Show. We will be right back with Vibravision and Nate. Don't go away. And welcome back. You are tuned into my daily show now called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the Morning Show. And we are back. We have a special guest in studio today who is telling us how we can do more than we think we can by tapping into the energy that is available for all of us. And that guest is Nate Zeleznick, and he is tuning in from Utah, and he has a center and a school there that is all about energy. So we were just talking about your how you got into this, and it wasn't going to Indonesia and meeting up with the family that has this little secret, but you actually were passing by a blind and deaf school, and it sort of connected you with the VHS that you saw of people blindfolded motorcycling through the streets. Please don't do this at your home. We're not advocating that, but certainly now let me back up for just 1 second, because I do have listeners who are not necessarily schooled or used to or comfortable. When you said I had several out of body experiences, I could just see some people go, oh, this is woo woo. This is, we're delving into the UFO area, and this is a little too woo woo for me. So I wanted to put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room, and and just spend a minute to talk about, the connection for normal people around energy. So I'm actually gonna to help with this, just for, if you would allow me. I use this one example because people, even when you said everything's energy, right? And some people say, what are you talking about? We're physical people. We have hands, we have eyes, we have brains. That's how we function. What's this energy woo-woo bullshit-talky, like makeup stuff, makeup shiitake. So for me, someone told me, when you're dying in the bed, at what point are you dead? And I said, well, when you stop breathing. No, when you stop breathing, you're still on a ventilator. That is not the point of death. Okay, so when you're brain dead, when you have no thought. And they say, no, you're still not dead, because you can have a machine that hooks up, there's a flat line, but you're still alive. So at what point are you dead? And the point of death is actually when this stops. Now, for those of you who are watching me on camera, you're seeing I'm making that sign that is on the machine when it's measuring your life, which is that it goes up blip, down blip, and then flat, up blip. That's measuring. What is that measuring? That's measuring energy. So the point of death is when your energy leaves your body. Your body does not house that energy. And that, to me, was my proof, and hopefully your proof now, that you can say, okay, I can consider that. I can be open to the fact that that we are energy. Fundamentally, we are energy housed in a physical body. Okay, so hopefully that paved the way. So no more, he's all woo-woo.
Sure.
Did that make sense?
Absolutely. Well, and it makes sense as well. I think everybody is familiar with a TV show that somebody flatlines and they bring out the defib paddles, they put it on clear, boom, and they don't sit there and drum on your chest with mallets. They hit you with electricity, because electricity runs our body, and so we have electromagnetism in our body. And it's well known now in the science, in the fields of consciousness, that consciousness is non-local, meaning it's that we understand it's not housed within the body. We may identify it from a me perspective inside the body, but it can also, now they have machinery, or they have tech that can measure your brain waves from outside your body. So it doesn't have to even be touching your skin. So if they can do that, well, it's pretty safe to say that we're always learning new things about our existence all the time.
Yeah. And you have it every day. When you walk by a person, you get a bad vibe. That's energy. Sure. When you get a good vibe, that's energy. So I totally advocating and supporting the ideas that you're saying. So okay. So someone who comes to you, like, why, especially now, we're coming out of the pandemic, people are not feeling themselves necessarily. Like, I went to a party. It's the first time I've seen people in over a year. It was like the Twilight Zone, or like a reunion, and then hugging was kind of weird. Like, so like, how can this technique help us re-emerge maybe into a better place?
Such a wonderful question.
Thank you.
A lot of people are coming to us now because, well, some people would like to be able to perceive without their eyes. They think that's just amazing. And, we've been featured on an award-winning documentary called Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible, which is on Amazon Prime right now. People can go watch that.
Yeah.
So Superhuman with Caroline Corey, she's the producer. And we were featured toward the end of that, where it's showing people under clinical conditions doing impossible things.
That's
what
so
we think
cool.
are impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So some people want to become superhuman. Other people are learning, and they're wanting to be able to connect with their higher self, the larger aspect of their consciousness that is non-local. That, for instance, we've had one of the top neuroscientists in the world come and brain map and do quantitative EEG measurements, which is a fancy way of saying, look inside the head of our people doing Vibravision, and he's been blown away. He's done thousands of brain maps. He's never seen anything like this before, even with the most experienced of meditators. And the thing about this is that when we have somebody come in and quantify what we're doing on a physical level, they still can't explain what's happening on a consciousness level. But it's time in our history where it's not enough to know. It's time for us to know how.
Right.
So that's one reason why we've really gone to such great lengths to have people come in from all professions, whether it's physical therapy or optometry, ophthalmology, or MDs, naturopathic doctors. We have all kinds of different people coming to us because they want to find out for themselves what they can really do. And we have a 100% success ratio of blowing people's minds.
Wow.
No matter what they've done before, this is unique. But I mean, we've had people that have done Wim Hof breathing for years, 20 plus years of pranic healing or yoga and teaching yoga in India, or been one physical therapist who just finished our level 1. He has been in the consciousness expansion paradigm for over 3 decades of helping people maximize performance. And he said, of all the things that he's ever seen, this is the fastest way to activate the pineal gland and connect with our higher self. So now we find people who are Fortune 500 company CEOs and people who are very, have a lot of pressure on them, physicians, people who are, they understand that we damage ourselves when we stress out. Cortisone, I mean, the CDC says on their website, over 90% of all disease is caused by stress.
Yes.
So if we can make ourselves sick, we can also make ourselves well.
Very good point.
That's what Dr. Joe Dispenza saying right there, which is 100% true. Love that, man.
Yeah. Did you see my interview with him?
I did not know.
Yeah. Over 10,000 views just at a conference. I was the on-site reporter. So he's brilliant because he talks normally, non-scientifically. That makes sense, but he is a scientist.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know,
is he aware of your work in this?
I've met Dr. Joe and I let him know about Vibravision. And so who knows what will transpire in the future as far as ecosystem merging or how we can benefit each other's communities, because definitely want to. I've been to his advanced workshops. I had a chance to speak with him and really talk shop. Stranded on an airplane in Phoenix, Arizona, just happened to,
of course, timing. Synchronization. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So you actually have classes in this. Can you access them virtually?
So we have 2 different evergreen courses, meaning online classes where people can start to learn some of the breath work and some of the meditation and the energy development that is used by every branch of the Indonesian military now and every branch of their police.
Can you take us through maybe a little bit of it right now for those who are not driving?
Yes. If you're driving, the first thing you're going to do is put a blindfold on.
Right. So can I do this now?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to close my eyes and pretend that I have a blindfold on. Is that good?
Absolutely. Sure. Well, we're not going to be doing any Vibravision. That requires a lot of training.
Okay.
But the first thing that we can do to help regulate our heartbeat and our breath is to count our breath.
Okay.
And count our heartbeats.
Got it. So before we do this, I want to just frame this for everybody. The reason why I didn't tell him I was going to ask him this because this is how spontaneous I am, but the truth is we are all stressed out. I mean, pandemic fatigue, the losses that we've gone through, and I have an expert here on stress reduction. So I just had this impulse to ask him to help, and this is something that we could all do, right? And Absolutely. It's not rocket science. So go ahead, Nate, help us out.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is, as long as you're not driving or operating heavy machinery or in the middle of heart surgery, go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
First thing is to close your eyes.
Yep.
First, I want you to be very aware of your entire body all at once. Just be aware, first of all, of your toes moving up into your feet, and you don't have to do anything. It's all connected to you. You don't have to try to do this. Just be aware of these parts of your body, which we're normally oblivious to. So we're moving up the lower leg to the knees and up the thighs into the buttocks. And Now up our torso in the front and the back, and feeling our body relaxing more as we're focusing our attention and our awareness up into our chest and the upper back and into our shoulders. Feeling them drop, it just relaxes, our neck relaxes, and we notice any tension that was there as it fades away. And we're going to allow our awareness to keep going down our arms, down into our hands, so that we can feel the tips of our fingers touching whatever they're touching. We're aware of everything moving from our shoulders down. And then from our neck, moving up into our scalp, into our throat, into the front of our face, as we feel the muscles in the jaw, in the front of the forehead, around your eyes, just relaxing and starting to droop so that you're nice and relaxed. And as you're aware of your body all at once being nice and relaxed and actually paying attention to you, we're going to breathe in. Now, what I'm going to have everybody do is I'm going to have you breathe in for a 4 count in through your, down into your stomach. I want you to breathe deep into your lungs. As you inhale, let your stomach come out, drawing the air to the bottom lobes of the lungs. And as we hold our breath, we're going to let that air kind of rise up to the upper lobes. And then as we exhale, we're going to exhale out our mouth kind of like we're whistling, like pursing your lips and whistling. Okay? So we're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts. And every single time you exhale, I want you to focus on letting your body relax deeper and deeper. So here we go. We're going to go for 3 full cycles. Inhale through your nose, and 1, stomach comes out, 3, 4. Now hold your breath. Allow the air to rise up. 2, 3, 4. Now exhale out your mouth like you're whistling. 1, 2, 3. Relax. 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale out your mouth like you're whistling. 1, 2, 3, relax. 4. Just one more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now exhale, relaxing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you could just begin breathing normally in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your nose, however you like. Noticing and paying attention to any tension that is still remaining in your body. And every time you breathe out, just let it go as you relax more and more and feel your body coming into balance. With every breath, being grateful for this gift of life that we have. So much of the time we spend our time as humans doing, not as a human being. And if we take just 5-10 minutes every single day in the morning to focus on the emotions of gratitude, love, joy, and harmony, it's been shown that that improves our immune function for up to 24 hours. But even 5 minutes of feeling stressed out can depress our immune system for 5 or 6 hours. So the more that we take the opportunity to be a human being and just focus on our breath alone, the happier and potentially longer life we're going to have. And it's something we do 28,000 times a day, so we might as well just pay attention to it and get more of those days.
Wow. Wow. I could listen to that for a while. That was awesome, Nate. Thank you. I totally feel less stressed just from that. And that didn't take very long. That took us, gosh, what, less than 3 minutes, right? Right? So, those statistics I've not heard. Say that again. So if you
focus on an elevated emotion of joy, gratitude, appreciation, love, it's been shown that the chemicals that are released in the body elevate our immune function for up to 24 hours. If you focus on this for the period that I've read about is 10 to 15 minutes, especially 15 minutes of just mindfulness on feeling what you're grateful for and what you appreciate, and feeling that right here in the center of your chest. So when people think of the heart chakra, your heart's over here, right? So this is actually the thymus. So we're releasing all kinds of chemicals in the body, because people who understand about the thymus understand that it's a regulation of our immune system. And it is less and less active the older we get. So as kids, it's very active. As we get older, it's less so.
Right.
So, but if we're stressed out, we're releasing cortisol and all kinds of hormones. From what I've read, especially with Joe Dispenza's research, over 1,400 hormones are released immediately when we start getting stressed out. And it's been shown to depress our immune system function for 5 to 6 hours.
Wow.
So I've read. Yeah.
So the choice is 15 minutes of focused gratitude. And, I'm a student of the law of attraction that says as well, the best is 15 minutes of gratitude and appreciation, appreciation, not gratitude.
Yeah.
But if you can't do that, then meditation is the second best thing to stay, to clear that out. But if you do that, you get 24 hours. Sounds like a sales job. You get 24 hours of better immune system, but 5 minutes of stress will depress your immune system for 5 to 6 hours. So that is something else. Like Dr. Deepak Chopra is also one of my teachers who says that there are 2 emotions that make your cells not work harmoniously. So they're clashing, the immune system's down, and that's anger and hostility.
Yes.
And 3 emotions that make your cells sing harmoniously: love, joy, and this was the surprising one, creativity, not peace, creativity. So we're all preaching to the choir. Yeah. We're all, agreeing with each other. And this is for us. This is totally doable. And if you want, this sounded like a baseline exercise. So we're getting to the baseline of who we are. And then the Vibravision is if you want to move above, way above, superhuman above, to really tap into your true potential, right? So let's talk about that. So is this related to, they say that you only use 5% of your gray matter, right? Or your brain cells, and that there's 95% that is untapped. Is it related to that?
Well, first of all, that kind of, from speaking with neuroscientists, that's a misnomer. We actually use 100% of our brain at all times. So if you look in an active MRI, and you look at somebody's brain scan, there's electrical activity happening all throughout the brain, right? Unless there's a problem, a tumor or something like that. So that's actually not true. As far as using our brain. Now, our brain's potential, that's a different story. So in speaking with Dr. Jeffrey Fannin, who is the owner of Thought Genius and was Dr. Joe Dispenza's chief neuroscientist for 6 years, did all of his brain scans, and he's the one who's tested our people. I asked him, so Dr. Jeff, how fast does our brain think? And he said, well, for your conscious mind, you can process about 40 bits of information per second. That's your rational thinking mind. And I was like, I thought it was like 2,000. He's like, no, it's actually more about 40. And I'm like, okay, but what about our subconscious mind? And he says 40 billion bits of information per second is coming into your subconscious mind. So it's like 1 to 1,000,000 ratio as far as what's coming in and is being cataloged in the subconscious mind or the unconscious mind, subconscious mind. But what our conscious mind, what we can actually think and conceptualize, is 1/1,000,000th of what is coming in. And that's, I don't quote me as a brain doctor. Quote him as like one of the smartest people
on the planet. Right.
So the thing is with I don't know about the ratio of well, it depends on the person, obviously.
Yeah.
But sometimes people have so much information coming in, they don't know what to do with it. It causes a lot of
Right.
confusion.
Right.
And, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, so I can't speak to that. But what I can say is that when he did brain maps on the people using Vibravision, he was just like,
Right.
wait a minute.
What's going on?
I've never seen this before.
Right.
And so, we have courses that people can take online at vibravision.academy. And people can either learn the breath awareness mastery, which is so beneficial for people's health. And it takes very little time. It's a guided meditation type format where it will put people in brain wave entrainment. And they'll be able to just do it anytime to help their stress be lower, help their joy be higher, and their body be healthier.
Right.
But then we have our energy expansion program, which is the physical exercises that we use and is used in every branch of the Indonesian military for their cardiovascular health, energetic health, immune system function, brain health. And that is available for the first time ever outside of a qualified trainer right there on Vibravision.academy. But we also have our immersions where people can come in for 5 days here in Utah, and we're looking to expand, especially SoCal will be our first place we go, actually.
Okay.
Very
All
good
right.
friends there who are willing to sponsor us in the Beverly Hills, but also San Clemente areas.
Okay.
And so that's where people can really learn how to go beyond the physical. And there are some other methods out there that teach this mind sight, but it's different. They're teaching people how to actually see without using their eyes. What we're teaching people how to do is turn your entire body into one big eye, if you will, and be able to perceive the vibrations around you and turn those into a usable signal. So very different methodology, but all roads are leading to Rome, and we're in a new epoch of humanity. It's just so blessed we can be right on the forefront of this cutting edge technology.
Of course. And thank you so much for bringing awareness of all of this. And I'm totally intrigued. And I always ask my guests, the last question is, to who or what are you most grateful for? So that's my last question for you before we run out of time here.
Who am I most grateful for?
Yeah.
The person that I'm most grateful for would, without a doubt, be my brother, Mike, who is the head Vibravision trainer, because he is such a good-hearted person. He's a master trainer. And, there have been many ups and lots of downs in the past 22 years of business ownership, trying to operate a wellness, but also a very energy-related school in Utah. Utah is not really known for being the most spiritually expansive place, and so
I didn't say that.
Well, I've only lived here forever, so it's kind of an island.
Right. Well, you're definitely changing things.
Yeah.
One vibra at a time, one vibration at a time, and that's really wonderful. And so, peace in and peace out to your brother, Mike. And thank you so much for coming on and expanding our awareness in this incredible. It sounds like I'm definitely going to have to check it out. If I make it to Utah, I will come for a visit. Awesome. But thank you so much. .com and Vibravision Academy. And coming up at the end of the day, you all know that I want you to have the best day ever. Hopefully the question of the day today has helped my What's Up Doc in the morning. Just keep it tuned here too. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And if you feel like checking, if you have a question or a comment or you'd like to be a guest, go to drmarissa.life. And on the pop-up there, put your email and I'll contact you and we'll have a little discussion and go from there. So this is Dr. Marissa. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.